Good morning, good morning, good morning. Guys, it feels like it's been so long since I've done a podcast. It feels like forever. But welcome back to the Dear Authorpreneur podcast with me, your girl, your host, Chase Sedora, the literary juggernaut. Thank you, thank you. Now, for those of you who do not know, who may not have been here for a while, like me, missing in action, um, I am Chasadora, the literary juggernaut. And why do they call me the literary juggernaut, you might ask? Well, because I have almost 22 years of both practical, which is actually writing experience, as well as almost 22 years of practical and educational, rather, experience, which means I've been studying the craft of writing for a very long time. That includes my own studying as well as actual college course study. Anything that you need to know about writing, want to know about writing, need to know about writing, I am the girl to do it. Along with being a master storyteller who has written over 20 best-selling books, and these are bestsellers actually based upon sales and rating from readers, not just me saying that to have a title or some type of distinction, behind my name. These are actual facts here, people, facts. Um, Now, like I said, along with being a master storyteller, I am also a literary coach, um, which is a fancy way of saying a writing coach for those who are new or maybe want to improve their writing skills. I help them with that. I am a ghostwriter, which means I write other people's books. I've written multiple books so far this year. I've done three, and we're already, just in March, but I've done three ghostwriting books this year. I did 12 or 13 last year. So I'm a very highly sought after ghostwriter, which thank God. Um, let's see, what else did I say? Yeah, we'll just leave it there because my brain is all over the place. Like I said, I haven't had my coffee yet. It's early. Y'all just bear with me. But anyway, what we are going to talk about today on today's episode will be plotters versus pantsers. Now, you might ask, what in the hell is a pantser? Well, I will tell you. A pantser is someone who, when they are writing, they fly by the seat of their pants. That means they don't really have an outline. They basically have a general idea of what they want to write, and they go from there, from that general idea, and they build going forward. There's no real thorough outline. There's no breakdown of how they want each chapter to go. They're kind of just writing as they go along. Um, and of course, there's the planners. The planners are the plotters, those who sit down, outline a whole book, chapter one through however many, chapter by chapter, so they know what they're going to write in each chapter before they actually sit down to write. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Um, so yes, that's the difference between a pantser and a planner. Pantsers fly by the seat of their pants. Planners are the plotters of the world, the outliners, the people who, like I said, they map out the whole story before they sit down to write. Now, me personally, I am a reformed pantser turned plotter. Um, and I really actually just became a plotter like maybe towards the fourth quarter of last year, just because I saw how much easier it was. Now, again, I've always been a person who really just has their general idea, because usually my ideas are sort of sporadic. For example, I can get the idea for the middle of the story, and then instead of my next idea being that exact, follow up to that part I've already written, my next idea would be something way for the first or second or, the front of the book. So my ideas would come all over the place. So I would just write that way. I write it as it comes. Now, that was helpful for me because that was just the groove that I was in, again, with over, 20 years of writing. that was the style I was accustomed to. I sit, I write my story as it comes along, finish it, and it'd be done. But that wasn't necessarily, well, I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing because a lot of people are comfortable with writing that way. But I found that being a planner is a lot easier. Talking about getting a book finished like that, oh my gosh, when you sit and plan out the book, it is so much easier to know what to write because you already know what to write. You know what I'm saying? You already know what to write. You just got to write it at this point, opposed to being a pantser and not really being sure, having to wait until until you can figure out what should go on the next part, or having to constantly go back through your work to make sure it all goes together. Because if you start with an idea for the middle and you go back to the front, by the time you actually get back to the middle section, you forgot all about what happened in between those sections. So it's a lot as far as being a pantser because there's so much more to remember. If your ideas aren't flowing as frequently as you want them to, that can slow up your writing. And in the industry that we are in, especially in the urban fiction genres, brand new books come out every single day. Hundreds of brand new books come out every single day. So that kind of takes away from the time cushioning that writers used to have to write a good book. Um, because now with the industry being so oversaturated, and people just putting things out, you don't really have time to take a lot of time writing your book because unfortunately there are some very fickle readers who if you're not on their radar like constantly like clockwork, they just going to leave you alone. And of course you don't want to lose readers. You constantly want to be growing and building your fan base or your reader base. I don't know why I say fan base. I hate that term when it comes to your readers. Your readers. um yeah, so you don't really have a lot of time to take writing your book. Now, of course, you do need to take your time and make sure that your book is right before you put it out. I will always, always, always preach quality over quantity, but you also can't, take 2 years to come out with a quality book because then it's basically like starting all the way over and rebuilding your readership. Because, like I said, new authors, new books come out every day. So if you're not constantly putting stuff out, they're gonna be gone and on to the next, and you don't want that. Again, with plotting and outlining and planning your book, I found that when I was doing the pantser method, it would usually take me about a month to finish a book. And for a lot of people I know, especially newer authors, a month sounds like so fast, I know. But again, as you get deeper into this industry, especially if you are in the genres of urban fiction or African American romance, um, you will see that a month is a long time in industry time. There are literally authors who post at least one book every week. So if they've released 4 books compared to your one book, then a month doesn't look like a lot of time, right? Opposed to, I found when I outline the book, if I really sit and concentrate and get focused after I outline, then I can finish a book pretty much without any rush and stress and strain on me. It would be about 11 days. If I'm really like pedal to the metal and in a good writing groove, it can be as little as 4 to 5 days. And that's a lot quicker, right? We would prefer that, right? Um, because again, you don't want to. It's a delicate balance between getting it done quick and making sure it's good, but always make sure it's good. So, um, like I said, some of the benefits of being a plotter are you get done faster, you have a more developed and full scope of your story. Um, You can keep everything more organized and in line because like I said, you have everything broken down chapter by chapter. So when you sit down to write it, it's much easier to write because you already know where you're going with the story and when you're taking it. So it's so many, and so many pros rather. And like I said, I used to be a pantser because I don't know, I feel like I can remember everything, and my memory is actually really trash. So I've started writing a lot of stuff down more, especially when it comes to my books and my ideas because those are my livelihood. And I love writing, so I try to write the best books possible. And I found the best way for me to do that is by being a planner. Now, if you're more comfortable being a pantser, that is fine. You do you, do you, do you, do you. I'm going to always say, do you. Whatever makes you comfortable is the best way for you to write because you're the one writing it. You're going to go through all the headache and ups and downs and joys and triumphs and all of that when the book comes out. So it's really on you, whichever one makes you more comfortable. I'm just giving you my perspective on the difference between a pantser and a plotter and planner because a lot of people didn't know the difference. So, yeah. So that's going to be it for this podcast. Y'all know I don't like to hold y'all up too long. Um, and plus, I got a lot to do. So thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to follow me on social media, all sites across the board, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Chase Adora. Um, Also, if you are looking for a ghostwriter or if you are looking for someone to design your book cover, format your book, uh, excuse me, format your book, convert your book from ebook to paperback, type up your manuscript, anything that you need that has to do with writing and bringing your ideas from idea to actual book in your hand, contact me and I am the girl for it. If you have any questions or if you want to send in a suggestion for an upcoming podcast episode, feel absolutely free to email me at hellochase@chaseadora.com. That is my new email. Again, it is hellochase@chaseadora.com. What else? I feel like I'm forgetting something. And I'm not editing any of this, so y'all gonna get all my hiccups and stumbles and all that good stuff because I'm not a perfect person, guys. I'm a regular person just like you. But that's all I can think of right now. Again, if you have a question, comment, suggestion for a topic, or if you are interested in services, reach out and contact me at hellochase@chaseadora.com. Thanks for listening, guys, and come back next week for a brand new episode of the Dear Authorpreneur podcast. It has been me, your girl, Chase Adora. You guys have a great day. And keep writing, guys.